Welcome back to another episode of CATV Tech Talk. I'm your host, Drew, here with your co-host, Jesse. Jesse, what's going on?
What's up, dog?
Do you know what today is?
I do know what today is.
Today's one of the most talked about topics besides fucking Trump's hair.
Or his orange skin, one of the two.
Yeah, or Biden's creepiness.
Sniffing everybody. Yeah.
Oh, weird. All right. Either way, fucking COVID, and the struggles of working with COVID. This episode was actually suggested by Brian C. of Michigan. He sent us an email asking, "Just wanted to let you know that your podcast is great." I mean, we knew this, but thank you. And keep it coming. I've been a charter technician for 11 years in Michigan. Some topics that I think would make a good show would be working through the pandemic, self-installations, dispatch routing, meter compliance, dealing with customers and techs constantly calling out sick. The two little fingers go up with that sick. Thanks, guys. Keep it up. So we actually have a guest with us, Steve. Steve was a Comcast technician up till about how long ago?
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
So about 3 weeks ago was the best day of your life.
Yes, it
No,
was.
Tell us a little bit of your background.
I work for Comcast or Xfinity, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I would have hit 12 years this January. Comtech 4, did home security, did Resi, was business class certified, but really didn't mess with it because I switched, shit up for just a business class team. But worked up in the New Hampshire and Maine area and was pretty much on the same team my entire career. Just towards the end, I switched, but just moved a little further north.
So you definitely weren't a cable guy that jumped office to office. Your home base was right there out of New Hampshire.
Yep. Yeah. Same office the entire 12 years I stayed in one office.
Jesus. Because Jesse, how
Dude,
many offices?
Let's see, 3 or 4. I started in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and then I went to North Georgia, which I was in a little town named called Chickamauga, which is and all it was to me was like a little garage building with computers and a desk in it.
I feel like it should have a casino.
And then, fuck yeah, dude, we should have a casino.
Just the name of it. I feel like there should be an Indian casino somewhere.
Well, right across the street from that building was a private school that's like, $10,000 a year to go to school there. So like I'm sure somebody could have afforded to build one. But then I moved back up into Tennessee past where I started when I was a maintenance tech. I think it might have only been 3, but then I trained in a couple offices too. So I was all over the fucking place.
Jesus Christ. Nope. I only had the 2. I had Mass and New Hampshire. And I actually worked out of the same office as Steve and worked on the same team with you too.
Yes,
Actually, you were the first technician I met in Portsmouth.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was fantastic. The other ones weren't so fantastic, but yeah, it was. And I actually got you to come work with me, so now you're my coworker again. After a year.
Yeah. How long did we work together though? Well, a year.
We worked. No, 3 years.
It was that
2
fucking
years?
long? Shit.
I don't know. It feels like fucking forever, but. Now it's an everyday affair again. So you get to fucking. I'm just like that creepy guy that keeps following you.
I get to hear your voice first thing in the morning.
Everybody's favorite fucking thing. I think I got to listen to Jesse's constantly with this podcast shit. But perfect. So how much of COVID did you have to deal with?
I dealt with every part of it. I was there I was working when it started and then, obviously I left 3 weeks ago, but we were pretty much, when I left, we were back to normal routing, full like installs. We just had to, wear your mask and shit like that.
More or less, they had enough time to figure out all the uh-ohs and oh-nos that they had to get in a row before they could kind of get shit back to normal.
Yeah, pretty much just to cover their ass so they wouldn't get fucking sued or in trouble. So, yeah.
So right out of the gate, when did they really start going kind of like, shit, we have to do something?
Like when
I can't remember when fucking it like hopped off the boat from China.
I think it was right in the beginning, the end of February or right in the beginning of March.
Yes.
When it really like kind of you know,
Took
that
off.
was like the oh shit, like we're done going in house. Well, whenever the states went on lockdown or whatever.
Or whenever the fucking toilet paper went missing.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it started.
Yeah. That's gonna be us talking to our grandkids 60 years from now. Well, it was when I couldn't wipe my ass for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Dude, motherfucker, I lived that shit, dude. I'm not even kidding. Down here, what they did is they would fucking like set a specific time between like 7 and 9 o'clock in the morning, where if you were an elderly, like over 65, you could go in and get everything you needed before other people came in.
Yeah.
And they bought all the fucking toilet paper for weeks. Dude, I was going through McDonald's drive-ins and asking for extra napkins so I could wipe my ass.
Oh, man.
That's actually pretty damn clever. All right, there's a good tech talk tip for you. If we fucking run out of toilet paper again, just hit every goddamn drive-through and ask for extra napkins.
And then it got to the point where like all of those were shutting down. So, dude, I would have to shit and then shower. Granted, I was stuck in the house because I couldn't go anywhere. There was nothing open. So, like, if I had to shit, I had to take a shower. I was the cleanest motherfucker alive for about 8 weeks.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Not really, because I mean, if you're shitting and then showering, you're not really wiping. That means you're touching, but then you don't have any napkins to wipe your face when you're eating, which means you're using that same hand for both ends, which is yuck.
I wash my hands afterwards, you dick.
Yeah, it's still gross though.
He just used the shower to wipe his ass.
If you're telling me if you got if you get in the shower and you don't clean your asshole, you're one nasty motherfucker anyway.
Actually, that's a conversation we have quite a bit. It's one of those things where it's like, no matter how many times you try, you always end up fucking wiping your ass before you wash your face. And you're like, fuck, I should have did it the other way around. All right, now that we're done talking about our asses and washing them.
But yeah, that's pretty much when it started, when the toilet paper fucking shit show happened.
Toilet paper. Shit show, no pun intended.
Actually,
So what was that conversation like whenever everything hit the fan and the states were shutting down? Like what happened? Like what did they tell you? Like how did it happen? Did they send an email? Did they call everybody? Like what happened?
Let's get everybody in this big room together, tighten it in real quick on this cold day to discuss COVID. I'm sure is how it went.
No, honestly, I kind of I forget that part because it feels so long ago. I know like our first week or the first 2 weeks, like work was super light. Like they were kind of like, you know, we'd have like 1 or 2 jobs like a time, you know, one job a time frame. So I'm a 10-hour tech. Well, I was a 10-hour tech, and I was only doing like 5-6 jobs a day.
Which is a big change from the
so
10 to 12.
everything just slowed right down. Like they were just like, you know, don't go into houses, and like there weren't a lot of jobs. Like a lot of people weren't calling in that first week or two, and then after that, like that's when shit hit the fan. We went fucking balls to the wall. Just nonstop drop, you know, they want us to drop shit off, but we're doing like 3-4 jobs a time frame, and shit just got crazy.
And that was whenever things picked back up.
No, that was like week 3. They just, I think they noticed that we were all sitting around not doing a whole lot, so they came out with drop and goes. So they wanted us just to drop the equipment off, check signal outside, run, you know, tests and shit like that, and then just drop stuff up and go. The thing with our area is that we have Rochester. Well, I keep saying we have. I don't fucking work there now. We had overbuild in Rochester, so we took the Atlantic Broadband is out there, and then we set up shop up there too. So they're giving us all these drop and goes in Rochester, even though every single job was a primary install. We have to run the drop. We have to do everything every single time. So they were just giving us, you know, job after job after job. And then, you know, they're like, oh, you're just dropping the shit off. And it's like, well, no, we got to do a full on install. And they didn't give a shit. They just kept fucking hammering us like nonstop.
So how would those like, I remember a long time ago, now this is way before this, but a long time ago, we would have what they called down here, they were hot taps. So like we'd hook it to the tap, we'd change everything at the ground block, check it for ingress. If it was good, then you checked it off and completed it. If it had noise on it, you just code it needs install. Is that kind of how those worked?
More or less. I mean, they wanted us to check signal. If, you know, obviously there was no drop, you had to run the drop. I mean, you check the signal. I mean, in Rochester, it was virtually impossible because like we knew we had to get inside and switch them from Atlantic to us, like their whole splitter configuration or just Atlantic, they ran a lot of their ones had 2 drops, so we'd have to figure out what AO we have to use. So
That's right. I keep forgetting about that. So you actually had to deal with a complete overbuild, which
Yeah.
if nobody's really familiar with that is Comcast pretty much entered a town where there was an existing cable company. It didn't purchase that cable company. It didn't take that system over. It built on top of it. So you actually had 2 cable systems that you had to deal with. So like you're saying, they'd run multiple drops to the house. Now you're trying to reverse engineer their system and trying not to go in the house as much as possible.
Yeah,
So it's near damn impossible.
So yeah, when we got Rochester, it was impossible. So literally, like since day, so like I tried it one time, like in a trailer park. So I hooked it up, like literally underneath, like that one. I could actually see it. Like I didn't have to go inside. Like I ran, it was a temp drop because it was underground neighborhood. Ran the AO. I didn't run the AO. I connected the AO because I could. I'm like, where do you want it? And she's like, oh, it's going in the living room. I mean, I could literally find it. So I didn't go in. Checked with her like 4 or 5 times, just so it was an older lady. She wasn't super old. I'm like, all she was doing is hooking up a modem and had like a Wi-Fi box for Flex. And
Jesus.
So I did all that. So I didn't go in, and then I get a fucking phone call like 2 days later, like the friggin' manager is giving me shit because I didn't go into the fucking house.
And again, it was a policy that you weren't supposed to, right?
Yeah, that was at the time.
Now,
you weren't supposed to go in the house.
and I was going to ask, is that more of a, like, it's up to you as the technician, or is it, holy shit, a complete, like, no one's allowed to do anything until we figure out
at
what's
that
going
point,
on?
like nobody was supposed to be going into houses. So after that, like after they started busting my balls about it, I'm like, whatever. So literally every single Rochester job I ever got after that, I went into every single house during the entire time.
That's a committed technician for somebody who hated the company they worked for.
I just made my life easier. Fuck them.
Well, and I mean, especially with all the fucking ramp ups though, because all the kids staying home from schools. Did they do any type of program for that?
What?
Like low income kids for getting the internet?
So like if you qualified, was it the Internet Essentials or some shit?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or you got school lunch, you got free. They give you free internet during that time.
Wasn't they doing that anyway for a long time?
Yeah, I think it was a lot more promoted this time around, though.
And they probably gave them more bandwidth too, because I think it was like really shitty internet. At least down here it was when they were doing that.
It was like 3.5 meg. I think it went to like 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. It just went up in speed.
Yeah, I can see that, especially like with Zoom meetings and stuff. They needed it.
And I was gonna say, so did you feel now as far as trouble calls went, were you guys doing any type of trouble calls or?
No, not really. Like you get like they try the old drop and go, like, so just drop off the box because it's a bad box. Well, like you knew it was just bad signal, or like they were padded or something like that. So like I had some houses where they're padded for ingress, and I told them like, hey, listen, I'm like, you're padded. I'm like, we're not allowed to come in. We're gonna have to wait till this shit is over, or wait or until we can get inside the house. And I mean, typically, I mean, people were pretty, they were pretty good about it because they were just as scared as anybody. So
I was gonna say, I don't think it's one of those, don't fucking come near my house, especially if you're somebody who's going from house to house to house.
Oh yeah, exactly, 100%. I mean, especially the most calls are either, I mean, you're either doing someone's family with kids, or you're doing it's old people. So it's you get someone that might be at risk, and because you have no idea to come in contact with someone that had it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God. I mean, I worked through this entire thing. I've never stopped once, but luckily what I do now, I don't feel like I'm surrounded by as many people, or I'm as on top of people. I don't know. Maybe it's the personal space. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's a lot different. Maybe it's because I do more commercial than it was before.
Yeah,
I don't think I would have been able to handle it. I think I would have had a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, it was stressful. And then, like I said, too, I mean, you were just so fucking busy. Like, they're like, oh, you're just dropping it off. And it's like, well, I mean, it's like, shit, you still got to drive and stuff like that. You still got to, I mean, if they're giving you 4 jobs in one time frame, even, I mean, anyone's geo area is kind of, I mean, that's tough to make it in the first place.
and I know we're going to talk about this later on, but I almost kind of want to bring it up now because you're kind of floating around that subject. All these different struggles. I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys are listening go like, holy shit, you're missing lates, or holy shit, you're dropping off equipment, banking on it was a bad box, so your repeats must have fucking tanked. For you, what about you guys' metrics? What were they doing with those?
No, they just stopped. They stopped everything. So the biggest thing, they weren't counting repeats. They weren't counting missing late, shit like that. They were just counting anything that would go against you for progression. They weren't. They didn't count two. I think it was 2 months. They just kind of took out completely. And then
that's not too bad.
Yeah, and then so they weren't bad with that. So they took that out, and then their big thing were the meter scans for the drop and goes. They wanted scans in the test, and then it got to a point where I heard places or texts where they're just dropping off the equipment, not checking signal, not doing anything. So they're dropping off equipment, and there was like not even a drop at the house or anything like that. So then they want us to do these drop validations where every single job they wanted you to run a test at the tap and then run a test at the ground block as well.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't do it though.
How did it affect fucking doing like stock and warehouse? Because obviously I'm assuming they sent out this email saying, shit, don't go into people's houses. I'm sure they didn't want you going to the office.
Yeah. So we did go to the office. My van was fucking trashed, and it was still trashed when I turned it in. It was just my geo area, like we don't have a warehouse over here. Our warehouse was in Portsmouth, where you get your equipment. So I work like half hour away, so like we don't have a office, we don't have trash or nothing like that. So my van was just fucking, it was just hammered with shit, had fucking equipment all over it, and it was a pain in the ass.
Could you go into your office and clean your van out and all that kind of shit? You had a dumpster. You could still go.
Yeah, but
right?
it was. I was working in Rochester a lot. In that place, it was like 45 minutes away to the office, and it was just. And I only live.
A pain in the ass.
Yeah, I live like 15 minutes, like in between them. So like, it took me 15 minutes to get to Rochester, and I'm just like, well, I don't have time to fucking drive to the office to go, try to clean my van and then drive 45 minutes. Because they just.
Well, yeah, I'm sure if you give any technician that option, like you can go to the shop, it's 45 minutes away, or you can just fucking go home and it's 30 minutes away. I'm gonna go home most every fucking time.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was kind of a pain. I mean, and then my supervisor, I got along great with him. He was awesome. Like they would, he'd do what he can to bring out equipment, because obviously we're just, box jockeys at that point, just swapping them out. And just dropping them off so much that, so we went through a lot of equipment, because obviously every time someone called, there was, something wrong with equipment, not actual signal, which really was the problem, but.
Jesus Christ. So all those call center people are probably like,
oh yeah,
it's legitimately it's the box. Oh god.
So like how was meetings held? Like how did that work? How did they get information to you as a group?
We had meetings like every week. We did the Microsoft Teams. So we did that pretty much every Wednesday for us. We'd have the Teams meeting. They just kind of go over everything. It was kind of week by week anyway, just, with the new protocols or anything like that. Because at first it was just, you couldn't go into the houses, you're dropping it off. And then they kind of revised it for Rochester. They're like, well, then I guess you can go in for the primary outlet. And then we're like, oh, okay.
See, and then I would turn around and be like, okay, so what's my difference in pay over the guy who doesn't have to do that?
Oh, yeah. No, definitely not.
Did they end up paying you anything extra for hazard?
Yeah, we got hazard pay for
4
weeks, I think. 4 or 6 weeks. It was 4 to 6 weeks we got hazard pay. It was like a 6% bump.
Oh.
Yeah. Per hour. 6% per 6%.
So it just paid your taxes.
Yeah, no, it was decent though. It was a pretty fat check, so.
They probably, all right, they got a 6% chance of dying, so we'll add about 6% to their check.
Yeah, that's about it.
Jesus Christ.
Jeff, wow, it feels so long ago since that, but that was right. That same thing, that was right in the beginning. That was like that was like the safest time, because like we weren't really going into houses and shit. And then after that, we went into a lot of houses.
No, so basically they give you a 6% bump when you can't go in the house. They take that away right as they say to go to the primary outlet. When you go to the primary outlet and you're in somebody's house already, you know you're not only going to fuck with that one out, they're going to fuck with you and be like, hey man, this back here's not right and this ain't right. So how did you handle that?
No, I didn't. I just fucking did everything.
You just did it and said fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the jobs are set up where like a lot of people were doing either internet only or, I mean, we have Wi-Fi boxes, so they were pretty, I mean, the Wi-Fi boxes are pretty simple. Well, at least for me, I like Wi-Fi and they're easy. So if they were getting multiple Wi-Fi boxes, a lot of people were, they were fine with hooking them up themselves. So I'd get the modem going and maybe hook up one Wi-Fi box and then just kind of leave the rest for them and just kind of show them the first one. But I mean, people were nervous too. Like they really didn't want you in there the whole time, and they were just as sketched out, I guess, as we were.
Yeah, no, and going and being in the home like that, did you have to? Of course, you had a mask on, I'm guessing, and booties and all that shit. But like, were people like you said they were sketched out? They were real worried. They probably weren't right over your shoulder, were they? They were trying to stay as far away from you as possible.
Yeah, they stayed away. I mean, they weren't as friendly as they normally are. But no, there's some people that. Yeah, I mean, you got some people that thought it was fake and they didn't wear a mask at all, or they didn't give a shit if you wore one. I mean, then you have other people that were, I mean, I had some people like up in Brunswick, Maine, that they wouldn't even open the door, like outside. I'd have to yell, like I'm trying to like talk to them like through the door. They wouldn't even want to talk to you. And it was just like they'd leave like a little box outside and they'd put like the modem inside of it and they just want you to leave it in that and then get the fuck out of there.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, that would have fucking made me even lazier as a technician.
Yeah, I think that's why they started doing the drop validations and stuff like that. But I was just kind of
Fuck that. I'd be like your local neighborhood fucking paper boy. I'd be slipping digis into fucking paper bag or plastic bags and fucking I'm whipping out the window as I go by.
yeah.
There'd be that one guy at the end of the street that supposedly we haven't did the install fucking 12 times in a row, but there's just 12 digis sitting on top of his garage because they keep missing.
Yeah, that's how it was. Like a lot of, I mean, so Rochester was the only one that was. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of new connects because obviously, building and like houses were kind of delayed and shit like that. So there weren't like tons of new houses going up everywhere. So the areas that weren't Rochester, some of them are like that. Where you're like they weren't even home or anything. You can just check the signal at the ground block, friggin' throw it in a bag and leave.
That's crazy to me. That's absolutely nuts.
And then and you can take a picture like on 360. You can take a picture of it, and so you can see that you left it hopefully in the right house.
Oh, so you had to actually like leave a picture and say, "Hey, it's there."
Yeah, right through 360. As you close the job out, as you were closing it, you could. It would say if customer was on site or did you want to take a photo. So you could take a photo and it would somehow save it to the account. I'm assuming, and then they could view it. If the customer called and said, it was missing or some shit like that.
Oh my God.
That's interesting because I got a buddy that drives Uber, and he did the deliveries, like the food deliveries, and during the pandemic, like the beginning of this shit, that he was telling me the same thing. Like he would have to put the food like on the porch and take a picture of the food, and then take a picture of actually the mailbox.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, to like show that this is the right address or whatever. I was like, that's fucking stupid. Like, what?
Yeah. I need the customer's front left tire pressure. If I don't get a picture, you ain't getting paid.
Yeah. So I tried to take a picture. Yeah, I put it like I tried to get like the door or something or some shit in there, maybe the number on the house. I wouldn't take a picture of the mailbox though. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb, man.
I'd be so fucking. I wish that was there when I freaking gave my 2 weeks. I would have had so much fun with the fucking amount of photos I would have lit up on people's accounts.
Drew,
and Jesse,
you'll be in there taking selfies, like giving them thumbs up and all that shit.
I'd be like in their fucking shower.
Oh my
God. Oh God, fucking that great shit pic. The selfie from way up on the ceiling.
No.
God, fucking Jesus.
But yeah, so if they weren't home or some people, you could tell they're home, so you just fucking snap a picture and freaking just get out of there.
So I mean, I don't want to say it sounds easy to be a shitbag tech because I mean it it just seems like they were allowing everybody to have the opportunity to kind of be a shitbag tech. But just like anything that happens with any cable company is once people find workarounds and they find ways to waste more time and fuck off even more, things start to tighten up. Did you notice that?
What that?
Guys found other ways to fuck off beyond what they were even given.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because a lot of the real shitbag techs just fucking stopped working. They all had, some had to have surgery, or some fucking they had some type of, they couldn't handle it or the bullshit, so they fucking, a lot of guys went on short term, and then
Were they allowed to go out for like I don't want to say like mental capacity, but for like being like not being able to handle the
we had I
fear?
think we got one mental health day. You get one day off.
A mental health day.
Yeah, you got one.
You get fucking one fucking
Man, being a tech, you need a fucking mental health month, man. What the fuck's what's that 24 hours gonna do for you, man? What the fuck?
oh
Fucking
my
nothing.
god.
It did fucking
Actually, you know what?
I used
I
it.
say-
It didn't do shit.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
It did do shit for fucking mental, but it worked great for a hangover.
Oh yeah,
It
was a great 4-day weekend.
no shit.
How often did guys call out during this? Like, was it every day?
So you know what? It's tough because that was their thing, or their niche, or whatever the fuck. So every single day they're saying like 4 or 5 guys are calling out, and I'm like, I'm like, that's so that because we're so busy. It's like, why do we have so much fucking work right now? We're like, people, a lot of people are sitting at home and shit like that, and we are non-fucking stop. And so their thing that they always kept saying that is what guys were. There was like 4 or 5 call outs every day. But then you look at the list, because they started posting like what techs were working that day. And then like you look at the list and it's like, well, there's not 5 guys that could have called out. So it's that was kind of tough. I mean, I know a lot of guys that normally don't call out. They called out like at some point just because, they were stressed out, just everything going on. And, guys were scared and shit like that. But normally I'm the guy that fucking calls out all the time. And I worked a lot of that. I mean, I used my mental health day, and then I used, I think I had a couple other days off, like, like in the middle of it, or, at some point, but.
So you had all these guys that went out on disability or took advantage of the time and, took these maybe elective surgeries that they had to have done. But at the same time, I don't really blame them, because from what it sounds like, there was almost zero incentive to keep working besides keeping your job. So from all I've gotten out of it so far is, for the first 2 weeks, they were kind of like, shit, we don't want to do anything that makes us a liability. So we're just going to kind of have them maybe try to not make us look like complete douchebags and drop shit off on people's doorsteps. So 2 weeks goes by, and then they go, well, now we're going to kind of put you in there. And you're like, shit, well, now we're getting closer and closer to going back to normal. And then 2 weeks later, the only fucking real incentive you had, a 6% pay increase, goes away.
Yep.
So
this elective surgery part that I got out of this, I don't even make sense, because during this time, weren't the hospitals fucking like blown up with, we don't have enough beds, or not like down here, man, I don't know what it was up there, but down here I couldn't even take my kid to the ER if he was sick. Like, you couldn't get in.
yeah, how many times have you called out sick being really sick?
Well, you said guys took elective surgeries. That was the point I was making.
Yeah, we live near the freaking coast, dude. Do you know how many people know doctors up here that can sign a little piece of paper that says you're getting surgery?
No, we used to have a place down here for like $15. A doctor would sign a doctor's excuse, so you couldn't lose your job. Like, that was his entire practice. You didn't even have to make an appointment. You just walked in, you handed him $15. You'd have a note that said, so-and-so was here under my care between this day and this day. He didn't care what he wrote. He would just write it down for you.
See,
Oh,
and
that's
everybody fucking judges when I talk about the South, but just fucking take this down for one moment and think about what he fucking just said. And next time you bust my balls about calling down South slightly uneducated.
How is that slightly uneducated? That's a fucking money racket from hell, you moron. He was getting rich signing his fucking name, dude. That is the greatest money racket in the history of the world. Every 10 seconds, somebody else gave him $15 to sign his name.
Yeah, but if I gave out my telephone number in town to every dude to use me as, oh, I was hanging out with Drew last night, so their wife could call me to verify it, eventually every fucking wife in town is going to know my fucking number. So if this same doctor was continuously signing the same fucking notes,
then his receptionist would answer the phone.
So pretty much what you're telling me is he was a fucking a circus. He came into town, and as soon as everybody figured it out, he just fucking.
He didn't last long, dude. It was like 7 months that he was gone.
That's what I mean. So he's like the fucking carnies. They show up, fuck everybody in town, and then once everybody figures it out, they fucking screw.
He's like Jody, man. When the guy's in prison for a year, so he's banging his girlfriend, and then he gets out and he splits down.
I still don't know. Fuck, I ain't going to work, but I'm going to go in the car and I'm going to drive 45 minutes across cow country to get a fake note from a dude who apparently he's the only one that can write in town because nobody else can get me a note.
Hey, fuck you, kid.
Well, that ain't very nice. Bless your heart.
Hey, you're getting there, asshole.
Oh fuck. Anyways, so as time went on, I'm assuming, because I always said, and I'm assuming this goes for any freaking, it's really any company. Or no, I'm gonna say it was more the company that I worked for. The only thing that never changed was change. It was constantly changing. So after a while, they just said, "All right, start going into people's houses." Did everything? Was that just kind of like the normalcy?
Well, once we started going like regular
into people's homes on a normal basis again.
I wish it went sooner, because it when they did that, all the jobs went back to normal fucking points and normal quota. So like it was fucking less stressful. It was more stressful trying to work when they were doing drop and goes, when you would think it'd be fucking awesome, because all you got to do is you're like, oh, I'm just dropping off this bag of fucking equipment that these fucking people won't be able to hook up, but I'm just gonna drop it off and go. You think it would have been fucking awesome and nice and easy, but it was fucking it sucked.
And again, I think I remember you saying in the beginning you didn't have to do the scans. It was just a legitimate drop and go.
Yeah. Then they got all, I don't know, they got super big with the scans and guys running scans, and because they weren't, they were fucking obsessed with them.
Just another way to fucking make you liable for something.
You still had PHT, but you weren't, because they stopped doing the metrics. So when you close the job, like PHT didn't even run. So you could just fucking close the job. It didn't matter. But you could go, if you go into 360, if you go to search, you can actually search that job that you're on, and then you can PHT the house that you're at. So you can, I don't know, like I like doing it just to, see if I, miss something, or see if I was being a fucking, a shitbag. So yeah, you could check it that way. So, but they were like, oh, since they got rid of PHT, like, oh, we got to do all these meter scans, and we got to fucking check it at, wherever the hell, at the ground block, or, at the tap. And then they came out with the drop validation, where they wanted it at the tap, at the ground block, at whatever outlet you were at, and then ingress for fucking for it too.
Jesus Christ. It sounded more fucking complicated than it was when I fucking left.
And the fucking holler. And then so they wanted all that. So like when we actually went back to, full quota, and I was actually fucking happy. I'm like, holy shit, like at least, you get, if I got a job in Rochester, you get, a 3-hour, time slot or whatever. Or, you
to actually do the job.
Yeah, you weren't doing 5 installs in Rochester in a row. You're doing like 3, because that's pretty much all you can get in a day anyway.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's terrible.
So yeah, it actually got better when shit actually went back to.
So about when did things start getting back to just normal? Like it started, you said, like in February. I guess that's when everybody felt it. When did, like, how far out before everything was just status quo?
Oh shit, was it? So what are we at right now? We're at November. I've been gone for 3 weeks. It wasn't that long. Maybe, I think September.
Oh, so this went on a long time.
Yeah, the drop and go bullshit went on for a really long time. Yeah.
That's wild, dude. And you really hated the drop and goes compared to doing actual full installs.
Yeah, because it was just one, it was awkward, and then they weren't drop and goes. They were drop and go in the system, so they gave us a 12 or 14 point job, and then you were still doing an entire install.
So I mean, you were still running outlets in the house at this point.
Yeah. Well, if any, yeah, because it was in Rochester, so you had to. We were responsible for the drop, and then because you have to run a brand new drop to every single house, and then pretty much an outlet. I mean, if Atlantic was there on their modem and that's where they had it, like with their, if they had an RG6, they had a good AO, I'd just use it. But I mean, you didn't have to run a brand new AO, but you had to run.
So are you like popping it like through the wall or whatever and saying, here, just pull enough so I could throw it out the window so I could put a connector on it?
I tried, and that is just, I mean, you know how some people are. They can't even fucking tie their shoes. So I just said, just get the fuck out of my way, and I did it. So
yeah.
So this entire time you were doing drop and goes, and the policy was not to go in these homes.
We weren't supposed to.
You weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
So how many guys out there were really just fucking being like, I ran a new drop, put the fucking ground block, and there was no cable to put on the other side of it, and I left the shit on the front door and I left.
There was a few. There was guys that were doing that. They either had, a child or someone at home that was, that was
high risk,
and they weren't taking the fucking chance. So I was, I felt like I didn't, like, if it was kind of, if I could get it done, I just got it done.
Well, we're at a point now though, like at that point, then they weren't even going to be held responsible for it because like we're in what you would call a global pandemic, right? So they could have done whatever the fuck they wanted to and gotten away with it. So you're saying that shit dragged on from February to September, where Tex could legitimately get away with almost anything.
Yeah,
that's wild, man. Because here's the thing, crazy. Like between, I think we found out like as a country sometime in July, maybe June, that these total deaths were really with high risk people, with people with pre-existing conditions. There was a lot more to it than we were originally told, right?
Yeah, they made like anyone could fucking get it and die.
Yeah, that's how it. Or from the beginning, it was like, this is the fucking zombie apocalypse. Everybody's gonna die. Stay in your fucking house. And as a human being, and I don't believe everything that comes on the news. But when you're told this shit, you don't really know what to think because that's all you know. So for 8 weeks, I believed the shit. The only place I went was a grocery store. I couldn't wipe my ass. We covered that. But then moving forward, like I don't know, a couple months ago, they said it was like 6% of the deaths were actually caused by the coronavirus. The rest of them had pre-existing conditions, got sick, and died. So you still had all these months where guys were literally doing whatever the fuck they wanted, knowing that this was a problem, but it wasn't as big of a problem as we were originally told it was.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I slightly panicked and loaded about 500 rounds of 5.56. So
you get ready for them zombies, by God.
But I think it was February or whatever, March. It could have been August too. I'm fucking terrible with like time frames. But I'm pretty sure it was
not as bad as Jesse is with his missed and late time frames. Heyo.
Hey, motherfucker. I had some good repeats, though. I just never made it on time.
Or made it at all. But anyways.
Yeah, some days I didn't. I'd be like, hey, man, I'm going to be here till late. And then they'd move that job and I'd log the fuck off. I've done that before.
I think all three of us have done that before.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm pretty sure Steve did on his last day. I'm pretty sure I did on my last day.
Shit, I was running a drop. I was in Rochester my fucking last day. And I
Jesus
the
Christ.
install, and I wasn't going to leave them hanging, I was actually kind of happy. I was like, oh, it's going to be the last fucking time I run one of these.
I was going to say, you had to be fucking smiling the entire time you were running it.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, I mean, you had the guys too, like we were just talking about that, they wouldn't go in. They wouldn't go in at all. And they stuck to their guns and, they were right. Like I was just, after someone giving me shit for not going into a house, like when the lady was fine about it, I was like, all right, fuck you. I'm going to go into every fucking house and do every fucking install.
Yeah.
And then, so I started, I just did it and I worked, like I said, pretty much the whole fucking time.
So pretty much what I'm getting from this is, this Jesse laughs when he says it, but the fucking zombie apocalypse, that's pretty much what happened. Is you're pretty much a loner now. You're out there by yourself. Fucking the office now, I'm sure when you go is a goddamn ghost town because nobody's supposed to be there.
Yeah, and they didn't want anyone there, and you hardly went.
I bet you traffic was great, wasn't it?
Oh, it's fucking great. You could, go as fast as you could in the fucking governor van, but yeah, there was fucking no one on the road.
Oh, that's right. You have a fucking governed van.
Yeah.
Or
The only
had.
thing that did suck though was everything was fucking closed. So like, you were pissing fucking in the back of the van, or you were fucking pissing, in a fucking shady spot, and I literally.
That brings that up. We actually talked about this the
I
other
was
day.
gonna
Man. Where
say.
would you go to take a shit when everything's closed?
Ready? Plug in Drew's shit bucket.
So I was luckily I worked and lived in my area, so I would just go I just go to my house and take a shit.
Well, that's convenient, but there's a lot of guys that couldn't do
So
that. Like,
I'm kind of intrigued at where they shat too, because I don't know, because everything was fucking even the like the gas stations where you could get food or that were kind of open, like they closed all their bathrooms and shit. So
Yeah, no public
yeah,
restrooms.
dude, it was like that down here too. You couldn't do anything. And whenever we finally did start kind of migrating back out, like for us was like in May, right? Or April, May. So like this started at the end of February. So like March, April, I think it was like the end of April or the first week of May, we started going back. I'd take my son. We were actually doing wrestling practices in the coach's garage at his house, right? Like we were doing that for a while. And like that was kind of like, everything was kind of like hidden and secretive. But like, I know like we were driving 30, 45 minutes to go practice sometimes. And like he'd be like, Dad, I got a shit. Well, I remember we stopped at like a Wendy's. They wouldn't let us in. At a fucking, a racetrack gas station. They had like fucking caution tape like X'd over the doors. I'm like, what the fuck? I let him take a shit on the side of the road. I'm not even kidding. I did. He took a shit on the side of the road and I handed him some napkins.
You had to. There was no place. You couldn't go anywhere. I mean, like Dunks. I mean, they were like the only. You knew a dunk. Well, up here, Dunks is open. So, but you couldn't go in, or they were only open for drive-through. So, like, you literally, like, we had a spot where we all like kind of used to go hang out and stuff, and then like we'd all just go piss out there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a locksmith now, and unfortunately, a lot of businesses went under. But it also means I rekeyed a lot of businesses, which means I had a lot of keys to a lot of places that weren't open, that had bathrooms that nobody was going near. So I really.
So you were the lucky bastard that you could just go shit wherever you wanted.
Yeah, I literally just had don't get me wrong. I was sitting there fucking squeezing my ass cheeks going through a ring of keys going, oh, fuck, which one was it? But hey, I still had a place to fucking go.
Yeah.
Nah, that's convenient. I had a place to go. I just didn't have a place to wipe. It was very inconvenient.
Inconvenient. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that all sounds like it's fucking terrible. So I hated the thought of being a technician before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, me too. Like I didn't even want to do the shit before, and then that happened. I was so happy when it went back to normal. I'm like, oh, this is fucked up. I'm like,
like me and Jesse actually get fan mail of people being like, oh my God, I love this thing. It's all I have when I go to job. And I'm actually slowly starting to believe that. And the more I realize that, I think these poor fucking people that are listening.
Yeah,
to
dude,
this.
I did not like. There was days where like, I mean, I thought about it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I need surgery on something, and it's just short-term disability and dealing with that shit is such a fucking pain in the ass to try to get paid, and just with everything going on. Like, I'm like, I'm not even like, I'm not chancing it. Like, I'm not faking an injury. I'm not saying something's hurt. Like, it just like, to me, it wasn't worth it because I was happy that we were still working. Even though fucking people sitting on their fucking couch getting unemployment were making more money than I was, and I was out there busting my ass. But
yeah,
I mean,
it was fairly easy, man. When I did it, like I went on what is it, FMLA, and that what it's called? FMLA,
Family Medical Leave Act.
Yeah, and this is what happened. Like, it's funny you brought that up. I never thought we'd talk about this, but dude, I got caught being drunk on a job.
That's awesome.
Oh.
which I figured would be like I'm gonna get fired, shit, right?
Well, yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't you get fucking
And-
written up for cutting your goddamn thumb?
Yeah, I got written up for cutting my thumb, and I got sent on FMLA to go to rehab for being
All
drunk.
right, there's another tech talk tip for you. Fucking don't cut yourself. Just get loaded.
Well, this is what happened, dude. Me and my kid's mother, we split up, and I was having a hard time. I hadn't seen my kids, and I was just like fucked up a little bit.
Oh,
You know how
Oh,
it
well,
goes,
now
man.
it's
You know,
all
everybody's
fucking
been through it.
depressing. I thought you were out fucking banging fucking chicks all night, and you were still hungover from the next.
Well, I was telling you what happened. You fucking dick.
I
Shut
know,
the fuck
but
up.
now
Listen to my
I
story,
know,
man.
but you fucking started out all super depressing. I'm waiting for fucking Hank Williams to start in the background. I mean,
I can make that
no,
happen.
please don't. Keep going.
But anyway, man, I don't know, it was like 2 weeks after all this shit went down, you know, personal stuff and whatever. And the night before, I went to this bar in Chattanooga. It's called the Electric Cowboy. It's not there anymore, but it was like the popping place down here. And I got fucked up, and I drank I drank it. I started at like, I got off work at like 6:30. It opens at 7. I got there at like 8:45, and I stayed there till 4 a.m. when it closed. And I had to be at work at like 7:30. And I was like, I don't know if I should go. Maybe I should call out. Fuck it, I'll go. I ain't got nothing else to do. So I got in my truck. I'm still drunk, dude. I fucking reeked of like rum, and it was awful. And I brushed my teeth, and I gargled, and I fucking drove my ass to my house, got in my van, and I fucking went to my first job. And I hadn't left my first job and hadn't even made it to my second job before they called me to the office. And the lady had called into Comcast and said that the tech smelled of alcohol and was stumbling from room to room, yada, yada, yada. And I went in, and I fucking had this sad story. And I told the little HR lady, I was like, look, I just went through a separation. I hadn't seen my kids. I really shouldn't have came in here today. I need to go to rehab. I have insurance. Let me go. And that's what I told them, right? And that's what they let me do.
Holy shit.
It was,
Do you know what I'm slowly starting to realize? We could have an entire episode of things customers called into customer service about Jesse.
Yeah.
The amount of shit.
dude.
Well, fucking he called in because he was fucking drunk. He called in because he got blood on the outside of my house. He fucking got me pregnant or whatever the fuck it was like. And that's just off the top of my head.
Well, that woman, that one I really did. I really was drunk. And the other one, I did cut my thumb, and it did have blood on their siding. Now the woman that was calling, I think she was like wanting money or something. That was just a fucked up situation. I don't know what the hell ever happened.
Oh yeah, she wanted you to fucking see. It's fucking disgusting. I actually know. I can tell you what happened just in case you forgot. That's how many of
Yeah.
your stories I've listened to at this point. But she blamed you on breaking the TV until your supervisor went out there and then blamed him on fucking breaking the TV. And then she didn't let either y'all leave until you went and bought her a TV and set it up.
Oh yeah, that bitch, fuck her, man.
Oh, God damn it! This is where my life has
but
gone.
anyway-
I quit cable and now I'm fucking
Oh, I know.
listening to.
But yeah, dude, that's true shit, dude, man. I was on, I actually did go to rehab too. I went to Miami, Florida, and I hung out on the beach for about 8
Shit.
weeks. And they fed me 3 times a day, and I fucked this girl in the elevator a
Nice.
few times. That was fun. Then I brought her home with me, and she was hot as fuck. And I wish I was from New Jersey because, damn, she was fine. I should have had like 15 babies with her just to keep her in Georgia. But it was what it was. But I got paid the whole time, so that shit was pretty easy
Holy
for
shit.
me.
Yeah, no. It's always a pain in the ass for me.
I'm just trying to get over the fact. Let's see. It was fucking. Yeah, I don't know. Jesse in an elevator having sex. So that was like what, 3.5 floors, maybe 4.
2.
Just
Yeah.
2.
Depends on how cold it was.
Well, what's cold? What's cold? Like 70, 80?
Yeah. All right.
For me, fucking 50 degrees is cold. You sons of bitches up there like
Oh
Eskimos.
shit! I coached a football game today, and it was 34 degrees when I got there, and I was wearing shorts.
I was gonna say I was out on the fucking side of my house yesterday, banging siding in at fucking 31 degrees.
We played a game Saturday, and I think that morning we played at 10. We had to be there at 9:15 for like warm ups and shit, and it was 42. And my kids like acting like, motherfucker, what the hell, dude? It's really cold out here. I'm like, yeah, it is kind of cold. I had fucking sweatpants and a hoodie and all kinds of shit. Like down here, dude, we're just not accumulated to it. Like when I was a kid, man, my mom took me to West Virginia when I was in kindergarten to stay a winter with my grandpa because he was dying. And I stayed sick the whole 6 months I was up there. But when I came home, I was just fine.
Yeah,
it's just how your body's acclimated to different places,
definitely.
you know?
I mean, I wear shorts almost all winter long too anyway, though, so.
Dude, I wear shorts and flip-flops fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I freeze for like pretty much till February, and then I can wear a t-shirt for the rest of the year.
I'm much fatter than you are, so I'm more insulated.
I know, actually, and I fucking lost weight too, so I'm gonna be like a little fucking maybe like huddling next to you underneath houses, like keep me warm. Oh fuck.
So let's have an overview of this. So you got
being a fucking cable technician now just sucks.
It sounds like it fucking is terrible.
Yeah. So when I left, it was it was full. Yeah, full. Regular quota, full installs. You have to wear a mask and shit like that. I mean, I wore it. I wore it pretty much a lot. Someone called and complained one time that I didn't wear a mask, but she was bitch. I think she was just trying to get something like free cable or some bullshit or something. But
well,
that's what people do, man. And down here, it's awful, man. I don't know how many guys I worked with that got called. People called in on the stupidest shit. This one lady called on a guy that we worked with. This was before home security, and said that he was putting video cameras in her closet to watch her undress. The woman's like 70 years old.
Yeah.
You're like, are you kidding me? What the fuck?
No, definitely not.
Roll them titties back up, baby. Nobody wants to see those.
That's actually one. During the whole thing, like we didn't do home security, so that was nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like the whole drop and go, or the whole that part, just because most XH jobs you're fucking in the house for a long time, so they stopped that. They started rolling out trouble calls maybe sometime during the summer, just for little things and stuff like that. But now you can do installs. Installs might be September or October.
Jesus Christ. And real quick, just because I know I don't think me or Jesse asked you this, and I just heard you say it. So you got called in once for not wearing a mask. What kind of PPE did they provide you?
They gave us at first they were super like gung-ho about it. They gave us all, like hand sanitizer. They gave us a Home Depot bucket with like a nozzle on it so you can put water and soap in it and wash your hands every job. That I didn't.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Yeah. And they gave you at first, they give you gloves and shit like that and masks. If you if you wanted any of it, you could just order it and stuff like that. I mean, they were pretty good with that. They gave us some thermometers at first, but they were ones that you stuck on your forehead and they sucked. So I didn't really use that. And then
you stuck it on your forehead. Oh, is it like a fucking like nicotine patch that you fucking put on your forehead?
Yeah, it was like a strip. Well, it was a strip, and you put it on your forehead, and then you can fucking, I don't know. The thing was definitely not accurate.
I'd be throwing that in my fucking heater and being like, "Boss, I need to fucking go. I'm gonna fucking give everybody the COVID."
So if you did that, and so if you were above, if your temperature was high for more than a day, then you have to go get a doctor's note, and that would have been nice for that guy that Jesse knows.
Yeah, no shit. Jesus Christ.
Oh, he would have hooked you up, man.
Yeah, so you would need a doctor's note, stuff like that. But if you had a temperature, like when you first woke up, but it happened to disappear by the end of the day, you were fine. You didn't have to do anything.
That doesn't sound sketchy.
But yeah, right. Yeah, everyone was honest with that.
Well, that's just like Nick Saban a few weeks ago, the Alabama coach. He was on Monday. He was tested positive for COVID, and he had to have 3 negative tests on Friday, or was it Friday or Thursday, Friday, Saturday? And he took one every day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in Birmingham, Alabama, before Alabama played Georgia, who was number 4 in the country. You know that doctor, if he had that shit, there was nobody in the fucking country in that state that was going to allow him to fail the COVID test.
Not in Alabama. That's not how that works.
Fuck no! Like I guarantee you that he could have come. 2 of the 3 could have been positive. Be like, yeah, he's good to go. Fuck
yeah.
it.
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah, he wasn't. They weren't gonna. If they failed him, they would fucking get fired.
That dude, yeah, he would have got fired. Somebody would have burned his fucking house down, fucked his wife. It would have been a bad day for that doctor.
Jesus Christ! It's always about the wife fucking with Jesse.
Dude, I fucked a lot of people's wives. It's just when they weren't married
All
anymore,
right, there's another fucking
or someone,
episode.
or someone they were.
Jesus Christ. CATV Tech Talk.
Hey, you can't judge me, motherfucker. You can't judge me.
What? Okay, fucking pause. Why? Fucking humor me. Why can't I judge you for fucking other dudes' wives?
You have the greatest fucking story in the history of the world, man. I don't know if we're gonna use this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You and your wife, you like traded partners. So you have like,
dude, I don't know what to tell you. You know what? He fucking looked good without a shirt on. He was fucking okay at doing housework. I mean, I can't really fucking say too much about it. So
I fucking love you, man. You have the most epic story, though, dude. Like, when you told me that the first time, I was like, that is fucking awesome.
Like, and I remember being such a fucking dork in high school. Like, I never was ever the popular kid, and fucking that would have been my fucking gateway right there. Oh shit.
Oh, it's so cool. You're my dog, man, and I fucking love you, dude.
Yeah, that was a good story. When you first told me too, I was like, wait, what? I was like, what? I'm like, what? How? What happened?
Is that shit not fucking epic?
Shit, I thought I had some good stories. I was like, man, that's fucking. I like that. That's fucked up.
I've done some cool shit, man, but I ain't never went and been like met a couple and been like, hey, you know what? I don't like this one anymore. I fucked her too long. I'm gonna take yours now. And been like, you can have this one. I'm done with her.
Yeah, because you got to remember though, I had like a fucking '89 like Subaru. The fucking back bumper was hanging off. Shit was dragging. There was more fucking dents in that back end than I could ever believe. And then this sweet little fucking tight Porsche ends up in my lap. I don't want to fucking sit in that piece of shit again.
Nope.
So I'm fucking stealing the one I fucking got to take a joyride in.
Can't blame you. Can't blame you.
I'm so happy right now. This is great.
I never figured I'd be the fucking goat of banging chicks.
Dude, man, I've had 3 ways. I've done some cool shit, but I've never traded off and been like, fuck you, dude. You can have what I got left over. It kind of drags the ground now, but it don't smell. So here, take it.
I swear to God, that fucking thing, you could hear it fucking whistle in the wind.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and then on top of it, it dropped out fucking 2 more kids.
No.
See, like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, yep.
It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway these days, huh?
God. All right, well, now that we're done talking about my wife's ex-husband, am I fucking...
Oh, all right.
But yeah, so to wrap it up, like Jesse said, which both of y'all are terrible at, that's a whole nother fucking set of stories.
Hey, I own that shit, man.
I don't know. I think Steve has you beat.
He might.
I'm not gonna fucking, but I'm gonna stop there. Anyways, so yeah, being a fucking cable tech during COVID sucks.
Yeah. That's why I fucking quit and got a new job.
All right, and there's your last fucking tech talk tip of the day. If you fucking can't hack it, just fucking quit.
Yeah. 10 times happier.
Yeah, I have to.
Just a real quick overview though. So
this is supposed to be fucking.
you're super.
I'm sorry. It's just supposed to be a fucking podcast for technicians that they're listening to as fucking like they go job to job, and nobody's super fucking positive about it, and none of us fucking do it anymore. So, are we just having these fucking guys listen to this shit, get halfway to a job, and just go fuck this?
Fuck
I'm
you,
done.
I'm out. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you.
Like,
fuck you. You're cool.
You're cool.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. I'm out.
We're gonna get sued because
I was gonna say we're gonna start getting letters from fucking companies like, "Hey, you motherfuckers, we have all these guys fucking quitting because of you." And I'm just gonna go catvtechtalk@gmail.com. Attention, Jesse.
Attention, Jesse.
unless you want to learn how to swing the right way. Attention, Drew.
Nah, man.
Apparently, I'm a failure in that department.
I swing to the left, not the right.
But for real, with all seriousness though, man, overview of this, dude. From what I got out of this, the warehouse, They brought like equipment was brought to you out in the field. Your meetings were kind of like Zoom meetings. Your metrics didn't make a fuck. Working in the home was kind of awkward, but you did it anyway because some people wanted you to, some people didn't. And the only thing that changed is it went from that bullshit running a drop, leaving it there, leaving shit on the porch to back to normal within about 6 to 8 months. Did I miss anything?
No.
No, I think that was the most educated and well-spoken thing we've heard you say on this podcast. If we can afford,
Yeah, motherfucker. I'm a goddamn scholar.
if we can afford that quick little clap plug-in just for him, let's do that.
I would fucking love it, man. Yeah, I need a standing ovation.
All right, one of it was one of my favorite parts of the show. I'm kind of indifferent about it right now, so I hate to start you out with that kind of enthusiasm, Steve. But this is our Tech Talk questionnaire at the end of every episode that we have a guest with. So we have 10 questions for you. 5 by Jesse, 5 by me. They're going to be blatantly obvious who came up with which ones.
And you don't have to bring it up all over again, you asshole.
No, just a quick reminder. But all right, you ready to do this?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. Disclaimer: I do have to say these are supposed to be fast-paced, quick answered ones. So,
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
What is your favorite type of drop cable to run? RG6 or RG11?
MDUs.
I fucking love it.
He's got the best answer
Yes.
so far, man. That's
Oh
awesome.
God! And see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why he now works with me again. This is the type of mind I need around me. All right. Number 2, Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Number 3.
Fuck.
Number 3? What tool could you not go without as a cable technician?
Oh shit. My cutters.
I thought you were gonna say the little magnet on the 7/16.
Oh wait. Hey, those came in handy. I just put it. I put my wrench right on the meter.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Number 4, did you bring your lunch or buy your lunch?
When I wasn't a fat fuck, I used to bring my lunch, and then I stopped giving a shit, and I just buy lunch every day.
Yeah, I still never found time to fucking get lunch.
But I actually skipped towards the end with all that shit with the pandemic. I just fucking skipped lunch because I just fucking want to get out because I didn't want to.
Yeah. Bucket truck, ladder, or gaffing? Number 5.
Bucket truck.
You're excited for that one, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Number 6, favorite sport?
Football.
I can concur.
I was gonna say anything, Jesse. Really, that was your excitement on that one.
I can concur, man. Yeah, football's great.
Number 7, on a scale of 1 to 10, how clean do you keep your van or work truck? For you, it was a van.
When I left, it was a fucking 1. It was fucking trashed. But before pre-COVID, I mean, it was all right. It was on average, I don't know, 5 or 6, and because during the winter, I mean, you don't fucking, I ain't fucking cleaning this thing during the winter time and shit like that. I mean, we weren't as busy, but it was fucking cold. I wasn't cleaning it.
Yeah, I don't even do drops in the fucking cold. Never mind. All right. Number 8, favorite emoji.
Favorite emoji?
Favorite emoji. Everyone's most awkward question.
That's the laugh and cry one.
Oh yeah,
that's the only one I use, I think.
Yeah, me too. Number 9, what is your least favorite metric?
Least favorite metric? Oh, that's a good one. I don't know, but the thing I mean, because I really didn't give a shit about metrics, but the fucking thing that I hate was the flavor of the month, like whatever one that they drove you nuts about to always fucking pay attention to. It's like, oh, we got to do the meter scans. Oh, this week it's fucking PHT, or that was the one whatever one that they were focused on was the one that pissed me off because I knew in a month they were just gonna fucking forget about it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Number 10, beer or liquor?
Liquor. Whiskey.
Awesome.
My dog.
Whiskey.
All right, Jesse, do you have anything else on our COVID episode or anything else for our guest, Steven?
No, man. I hate you went through that. That shit had to fucking blow, dude.
it was, it wasn't terrible. Could have been better. Could have been worse. I was happy I was working. So
The last thing I'll ask, dude, how often did you have to get tested for that COVID while you were working?
I have been tested 0 fucking times.
Yeah, dude, because that shit's brutal. They stick that thing almost through your nose to your fucking brain.
No, I haven't been tested once. So
All right, guys. Well, that's our episode on COVID. I hope everybody out there listening is staying safe. I mean, some of us think it's bullshit. Some of us think it's fucking China really did try to fuck us over. But I think everybody should still try to stay safe. Fucking stay away from people, social distance, all that bullshit. If anything, just because people are gross.
Some people still think that it came from a guy eating a bat too. So,
all right, guys. Thanks for joining us again. Thanks for coming on, Steve. We appreciate it. Everybody who listens.
for having me.
Absolutely. Don't forget to look in the show notes below. Below you'll find links to where you can find all the podcasts. If you go to the Anchor website, you can leave us a voice message where you'll hear yourself on here. Anything else I'm forgetting?
subscribe.
All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. See you in the morning.
See ya. Like what you just heard? Then don't forget to click that subscribe button. Questions for the hosts or just want to say hello? You can email us at catvtechtalk@gmail.com or find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/catvtechs. Thanks again for joining us, and don't forget, climbing, crawling, drilling, driving is just the beginning.